Right, well, now that we've gotten our timing covers off, it's a matter of setting the timing correctly and locking everything in place. Now, as always, when you're fumbling in your tools, you'll find a too big a socket, too small a socket, until you just find the right one. I believe it's 22 millimeters. There you have it. So always turn the engine clockwise, never go back. It's common sense. Now, the aim of the game is to align this white mark coming up with the marks on the timing cover. Now you'll notice that this one says TDC for top dead center. It seems logical to set it align it with this, but if you take a look at the cams, you can definitely clearly say that they are not aligned at all. And in fact, there is a second marking on the timing cover, and that's the one that you're going to have to align it with. So here's the end result. As you can see, the camshafts are perfectly aligned with the intake on the left and the exhaust on the right. And now's the time to grab this locking tool. This is not a sponsored video. I paid to get this tool, but there you have it. There's a reference number, and if you've stopped at the right place, then it should slide firmly. No sweat. So if you're not aligned, it just won't fit. So there you have it, piece of cake. Now, this is why I had to remove one of the battery posts, and why you should do too, because this is a live wire right here on the starter motor. So just remove that, and we're going to have to gain access to these two bolts, and it's a pain in the backside to do, but you have to do it to gain access to the flywheel starting gear, and this will enable us to lock the crankshaft into place, so that everything is set before removing the timing belt itself. Now, top bolt is a piece of cake, sort of. You'll soon figure it out, but the bottom one, good God, this nearly drove me insane. This one in the middle of your screen right there drove me nuts. Space is tight and scarce, and access is poor. So I tried pretty much everything before I got it right, but I nearly lost my mind. So I thought I'd show you a few of the solutions I have tried, so that you don't try them, and keep your sanity, because you know, sanity is something cool to have. And I really nearly lost it with this thing. The solution to this problem seems quite obvious. In fact, when it is not, is you pop the boot open, remove that grill that shows you the engine, and you can sort of slide a spanner through there in between the wires to release the tension on that bloody bolt. There you have it. It's as simple as that. So after that, you can, you know, squeeze in whatever's spanning out lying around, relieve the tension, and release it. Now, what you have to do after that is just, you don't have to fully remove the starter motor. You just pull it back slightly. The aim of the game is just to leave the free access to the flywheel crown gear, starter gear, and those are my thoughts about this setup right there. Took me ages to figure that one out. And so just remove that bloody plate and get rid of it for now. Don't forget to put it back on later on. And here's my take on fabricating a tool. I just took a piece of detailing clay that I had lying around, you know, an old piece of course, and gives you the imprint of the flywheel starter gear. So this enabled me to fabricate this sort of wedge to lock the flywheel in place. It fits perfectly, and it's pretty simple. It cost actually nothing because it was just lying around there, and just gave a cut with the grinder, and there you have it. This enables you to remove this bolt at the front of the crankshaft. Now, I strongly suggest that you don't try to remove it without locking the crankshaft, because the only thing holding it in that case would be the tension on the timing belt, and trust me, it will not hold. It will jump a tooth or two. So now that everything is nicely locked in place, it's time to release the belt tensioner, which will be discarded. I don't know who tightened this one last time, but he's certainly tightened it too much. Tension on this is supposed to be 25 Newton meters, no more, no less. Once you have relieved the tension on this tensioner, it's just a matter of slipping the timing belt off the cogs, and that's about it for now. Just set it aside, and we're going to remove it in the next video, so stay tuned for that. Now you most definitely don't want to touch the locking tools until the end of the operation. Seems quite obvious. And yeah, we'll cover removing the engine support bracket in the next video as well. You're going to need your floor jack as well, and patience and common sense for that. Make sure you keep these with you. Here's a view of the old stuff and the new. Now we're going to replace the tensioner bolt, and the belt itself. All these parts are new from Rover, so they're still available. Might as well get these, they're not that expensive. So there you go, that's top-notch replacement parts. Make sure you watch the rest of the series, and I'll catch you all in the next video. Thank you very much for watching. I appreciate your support. Drop a like, leave a comment, and I'll catch you all in the next video.